Singularity by William Sleator. 6. An instant later, Barry was out of bed and had me pinned against the wall. Where the hell were you? How could you leave me locked up in here all night? He shook me. What's the matter with you? How could you leave me locked in here, you jerk? Say something. He shook me again. Ouch! Stop it, I didn't. I pushed him off and backed away from him. How could you do that to me? You knew I couldn't get out. I could kill you. He was panting, his face distorted. But I didn't, Barry, I said, frightened. I just went and got the bags, like I said. I thrust the bags at him. I went out and the door slammed. That's all. I was only gone for a second. He came at me again. You lying, sissy-brained. You weren't in here overnight, I screamed. It's the same day. You're stupid, but you're not crazy. He reached for me. I lifted my hands to fend him off, cowering back toward the table. Please, Barry. It is the same day. Why would I lock you in here overnight? Who knows? He pushed my shoulder. I fell back against the table. My hand knocked something noisily to the floor. A tin of survival biscuits, half empty, paper wrappings lay crushed on the table. You ate these things? I said. What did you expect me to do? Go hungry, you jerk? Barry took a deep breath. He stepped away from me and sat down on the bed. It's a good thing the toilet works, he grunted. I can't believe you did this. But Barry, I didn't do anything. I was close to tears now. I just stepped out and got the bags. I wasn't even gone for a minute. Why won't you believe me? Believe you? He gestured around the room. It took me hours to clean this place up. He looked down at his half-naked body and the pile of clothes. I went to sleep. He reached up to touch the fuzz on his face. I need to shave, and you're trying to tell me you only locked me in here for a minute? But was I crazy? My calculator told the date. I might have been able to convince... If my calculator told the date, I might have been able to convince him. But it only told the time. If someone else had been with me or in the house the whole time, I could prove I was telling the truth. But there was only Fred, who was romping in the meadow somewhere. Then it hit me. The telephone. Look, Barry, I know it sounds crazy. It is crazy. But I was really only gone for less than... He groaned and rolled his eyes. Less than a minute. So let's go back to the house and call the operator and find out what the date is, okay? He didn't say anything, but at least he was beginning to look a little puzzled instead of angry. You'll believe the operator, won't you? Yeah, sure, he said, pulling on his pants. At least then you'll have to stop making your dumb excuses. In the kitchen, I plucked the receiver from the old black wall phone. We flew here on August 5th, right? I said. Uh-huh. And the next morning, the 6th, you locked me inside that place. All day and night, and today you let me out. Today's the 7th. And I say I only left you there for a minute. So today is the 6th. I dialed and leaned toward him, holding the earpiece so we could both hear. Can I help you? Said the sing-song voice. Yes, I said, expecting one of those chatty small-town operators from the movies. Could you please tell me what the date is today? There was a moment of silence. It is not our job to supply that type of information, she said. I couldn't get anything else out of her. Directory assistance was no help either. I felt like screaming at them. Now will you give up? Barry said. He stalked over to the cabinet and grabbed a bag of potato chips and began shoving them into his mouth. Those survival biscuits are lousy, by the way, he said, with his mouth full. I sank down at the table and rested my head in my arms. Maybe I really was crazy. Yoo-hoo! Anybody home? Called a female voice. The back door rattled. Come in! I called out. I felt shy around Lucy, but I couldn't have been happier to see her now. I jumped up from the table. She let the screen door slam and strolled into the kitchen. Hi, she said casually to Barry, hardly even looking at me. I left my towel here. Had to come back and get it before Ma noticed. Then I thought, long as it's here, maybe we could go for a swim. She looked at me, then back at Barry. Something wrong? She asked him. He was still furious and wanted to get back at me, but I could feel how embarrassed he was about the crazy thing I had done, and how he didn't want to say anything to her about it. If his twin brother was nuts, what did that mean about him? No, nothing's wrong, he said. Just having a little brotherly disagreement. Sure, I'd love to go for a swim, but I don't think Harry wants to. Do you, Harry? He was telling me not to come along and daring me to disobey him. Oh, that's your towel, I said. When did you leave it here, huh? She shrugged and grimaced as if there was something wrong with me. I left it here last night. When else was I here? Last night before we went to the playhouse, right? I pressed her. What about it? She said, picking up the towel and not even trying to hide the questioning look she shot at Barry. Barry was staring at her, a handful of potato chips halfway in his mouth. Night before last, you mean, he said. I mean last night, she said, frowning at Barry. Now as if he were peculiar too. When I came over and you showed me around and we went inside the playhouse. That was last night, Barry said. It was finally beginning to sink in. There is something the matter, she said, edging away. Maybe I better go. You told her to say it was last night, Barry accused me, flinging the potato chips to the floor. You bribed her or something. Bribed me? But I ain't seen him since last night. When we were all three out there by... She looked back and forth between us, her mouth half open. She was probably thinking we were both crazy, as old man Kittery. Last night, Barry asked me. She's not kidding? You were in there for less than a minute, Barry, I told him. But I knew that Barry wasn't making up what had happened to him. I was beginning to realize what his experience in the playhouse had to mean. It seemed impossible, yet it had happened. I was scared, but at least now, Barry knew that I wasn't crazy. You left me in there today for less than a minute, he said slowly, but to me it was. He actually began to smile. Harry, does this mean what I think it does? I nodded. Time goes faster in there, I said. And that's the end of chapter 6.